is going on, everybody? We're here and we are live for Geeks and Gamers Daily on a Friday. And of course, pretty much each and every Friday, it's me and Drunk 3PO. Drunk 3PO and I and Jay, Jay and I, whatever you want to say. Jay, what's going on, man?
It's Friday. That's about it. It's hot in Florida. It's been raining every day this week. And
yeah, but it only rains for like 15 minutes and it's done.
Yeah,
just but I gotta get it out. Ugh.
It gets all soppy. It's awful. It always rains when I want to. It just seems like every time I'm ready to go outside and do stuff, it's raining. The lightning was really bad yesterday, so that stuff scares me, man. Like lightning scares me. I don't know
why.
Thunder and everything's fine. Lightning, I don't know. I'm tall. It's all I need, you know. Just add it to the list of things that's happened to me in my lifetime. Jay gets struck by lightning. So,
yeah, but usually it's things that happen to people around you, and you're there to witness it. To be fair,
true.
So I don't think you have much to worry
busy.
about.
What if something? What if my neighbor gets struck by lightning? You know, or the neighborhood dog? Now I gotta attend to it, and that'll just take. You know,
that's not your fault.
How do you deal?
Dude, one time when I was in high school, there was a big storm, and I was at my buddy's house. We went outside just because it was fucking pouring, and no shit, probably 50 yards maybe, like across the street. The tree, like across the street from him, got fucking hit by lightning. Really? It was the loudest, craziest shit I'd ever heard. And like everybody's hair stood up on end, like the static electricity. It was wild. It scared the fuck out of us. We immediately ran back inside. But that's the closest I've been to a lightning strike.
The closest I was, my home in Fort Lauderdale got struck on the side, and all the electric inside was all fried up and everything. It was awful.
Oh yeah, man.
It just heard like a clap, and then when you went out, I remember I was like showing my brother. I was like, "Look at that! You could just see like the black, like burnt on the side of the home." And yeah, it was a mess. It was a mess. Thank God it was a rental, so the rental guy had to come fix it all.
Damn.
Immediately. So
that's fucking rough. That's rough.
It's like, hey, you got a problem here. Home got struck by lightning, and like none of the appliances work anymore. So.
Serotonin says, I got
like a month. I think it took like a month for them to get that stuff like working. I was like, first priority is air conditioning, second refrigerator. After that, like take your time.
Oh yeah, that's awful. Serotonin says I was electrocuted when I was a kid. Does that count? It doesn't count.
Yeah.
You know, even though as much work and maintenance as I did on electronic and electrical shit when I was in the military, I only shocked myself once. And it had nothing to do with that. It was when I was tired as fuck and I was in birthing and I was trying to plug my phone charger in to the wall. And you know those phone chargers that like the travel kind where like the prongs flip up? It was like the outlet's in such a fucking weird spot, and I was dead tired and I was like trying to get it in there and it kept flipping back up. So like a retard, I held it down with my finger to like get it in there. And so immediately just makes contact and I shocked myself. That was the only time that was really dumb. And I immediately shocked myself. My whole arm felt weird. And I did the opposite of what you're supposed to do. I just went to sleep, which you're not supposed to do right after that. You should probably tell somebody, but I was really tired, which is why it happened.
I got shocked by a Christmas tree. That was like the worst. Plugging in lights in the Christmas tree. Freaking like hit like, I got my hand in that bush and I'm just like moving around and it just oh my God. Freaking felt it all the way up to your elbow. Then you're kind of like, I'm good. All right. Somebody else do that. I don't want to.
Yeah, just like it's like a little sting in your arm. You know what I mean? It's not that big of a deal.
Like, all right. I'm okay.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it repaired something going on in the old ticker. I don't know. Shocked it back to a normal rhythm.
Maybe that's what happened. I saw a chat that came in before we even started from Tom H. After word of mouth, Barbie, it will fall off a cliff. Almost every guy was saying that a few weeks ago. Well, maybe, but
I've never said it once.
If you were on this channel, that wasn't. In fact, there's someone on this channel who's been saying exactly what would happen for Barbie the entire time, and it's me. It's very funny because I was sitting there. A lot of people in chat were mad at me when I told them that Barbie wasn't going to fall off a cliff. When I told them it was going to have a really great hold and it's going to make a fuck ton of money, and here we are. Weird how that works, isn't it?
And I just said I don't care. I'm not even going to watch it. So y'all have fun, kids. Y'all have fun. I got other things to do. So way to come into the chat with that one. You got us.
Well, I don't know if Tom was talking to like the channel or not, or just other people in chat.
I hear you.
But like I just saw that was really fucking funny because literally I said the opposite. Mikey likes it for 199. Thank you, Mikey. Brock with 10 Geeks and Gamers memberships right off the bat. Our man Brock, thank you very much. General Duality for 5. I drew something inspired by yesterday's daily. It's in the Discord general chat. Hail 199. The Discord general chat.
That was Jeremy, Beardo, and Josiah. So,
I'll try to take a look at it. I don't really go in there in that Discord too much. Slayer 96 to second, member for 2 months. I have Tyranitar, King of the Pocket Monsters fan animation. I did colonizing all animation. Credits to Kaiju Zilla. You mean colorizing? I don't think you mean colonizing, but maybe you do. Geeks and Gamers General. Bro, there's so much shit in here.
I can't. Yeah, that's what I hear. I hear it's something.
Is it the "Give Me Back My Corn"? Is that it? This is all I see, which is a picture of Beardo right here.
Someone drew it.
Yeah. Oh. Give me back my corn. Is that it? Let me know if that's yours, General Duality. That's the only thing I've seen that's drawn in there, at least. Crispy Nokin for 5. Hail to the 199. I can finally cross off my list that I'll be attending my first Dragon Force concert in November. I'm so hyped.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
Oh, Jake, you're a huge Dragon Force fan, right?
Not at all, but enjoy yourself. I don't even know what that is. If you want my
I'm not really sure either, but I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you.
Man, when you go on social media and stuff, sometimes you could really like see like people just, like for instance, Ryan retweeted a song. What was it, yesterday?
Yes, dude. That was
like I listened
awesome.
to that. I like listened to that thing like 3 times, and I'm like, man, it's just for so many people just struggling out. It was awesome. I loved it. Did you like the song? Like, is that why you tweeted it? Yeah,
I loved it.
And it's like to see people happy and excited because they're finally going to do something that they wanted to do. That just, I don't know, man. It just brings me joy because I'm glad that guy's getting a lot of attention. And, that's basically was like $1. Dollar ain't worth nothing. I'm working like triple overtime just for nothing. What's wrong with this country? Kind of like what the lyrics were. And it just, it was awesome. So, but yeah, just to see people excited that they're excited that they're going to experience something, so they want to share it with others. That's I love it. That makes me happy. So have a great time, man. Have a freaking great time.
Yeah, people are naming Dragon Force songs, and one of them actually sounds really familiar. Let me see if I know it. Let me see if I know it. Through the Fire and Flames. Okay, yeah, okay. I've definitely heard them before. I know this song. I know Through the Fire and Flames, so I didn't know the artist though.
Was that on Guitar Hero?
I think so. Like
now that you said that, I'm kind of like, I think that was a Guitar
yeah,
Hero.
when I turned it on and listened to the first little guitar riff, I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's in Guitar Hero. JG, member for a year. Sorry to hear Ryan was kicked out of the Big Brother house for his use of bad words. Yeah, there's somebody on Big Brother that just said the N-word randomly in the middle of conversation. Like he was talking like it was a soft A N-word. He was just like talking to somebody, you know what I mean? But he said it and was like, "Oh fuck." So What are you gonna do? Steven Wasik for 5. I'm on the road and reception is spotty. If I disappear, give MCU fan my best. He don't come around here anymore.
He was in my chat yesterday for the whole time.
He don't come around much anymore.
Didn't really give him any attention and kind of just fizzes out.
Jack Hudson. Jack Hudson with a membership. Thank you. Chris Coran for 2. And that explains why Ryan's such an angry ranter. Because I got shocked once? I don't think so. I was the same. I was the same before that. I didn't put my finger in the socket.
It was just on the. It was just on the rim,
like on the prong, like this.
Yeah.
Right. Like I kept it like that to keep it straight to go in the thing, and yeah, it's got a little shock. No big deal. Where the fuck did I go?
You know what today is? I just saw like today.
It's August 11th.
It's Hulk Hogan's birthday.
Oh man, everyone gets an N-word pass.
Holy crap. 70 years old today. Happy birthday, Hulk Hogan.
What's your favorite Hulk Hogan memory?
It's got to be WrestleMania 3. That was pretty good. And then I think when he came back, when he fought The Rock, when he came back from WCW, thought that was pretty good.
I had my favorite Hulk Hogan memory has nothing to do with Hulk Hogan himself, but for some reason, my dad bought us like a couple wrestling things, even though we didn't watch wrestling at the time. I was really young, and I got this Hulk Hogan basically kickball, and that thing fucking lasted, I swear to God, for 10 years. So every time I see Hulk Hogan, I just think of that stupid fucking ball with his dumb like cartoon face on it. Yeah. It's inseparable from me. All the fucking times I played with that in the backyard. Eric Stratton for 777. Stuck in car driving on freeway. Whole car with green glow. Blew out steel belts in 100 places on just one tire and just FM radio, not AM.
Sounds
Stuck
like a crazy
car driving on freeway. A whole car with green glow. What the fuck are you talking about? You're getting abducted by an alien or something?
All I know this is that if you guys didn't know, Quarter Black Garrett has put out a challenge for a Cannonball Run with YouTubers, and he paired me and Ryan to be in one of the cars.
Yeah,
to make it from California all the way to Florida or wherever, West Coast to East Coast. He's got Jeremy with Krista. Yeah, they're out because he can't switch drivers, you know? So
now I've actually talked to QBG a little bit about this.
He sounds serious. Like we're going to record a vlog while doing that.
Well, I just told him straight up. I was like, if we can find some people to sponsor this event and, fork up a lot of money to do these things and, actually put, maybe a nice camera and get us mic'd up in cars and things like that, like make it a real legit thing, then I think it's doable. But for me to take 7 days to do this thing, to drive across the country, that's 3 or 4 videos a day on my channel, 2 or 3 videos a day on Sports Wars, however many streams I'm involved in. That's just not financially feasible for me to do something like that. And I said, but if we can find people, if we can find sponsors to make it work and that can happen, I think that would be an awesome event and do it right.
Well, this is what you do. You don't go from Cali to New York in one shot or wherever. You make stops along the way and have meetups.
Well, so
all right, hold on. Jeremy's in the chat. This dude,
he's too retarded to not understand.
He said, "I've driven from Florida to California. You ain't done it anymore because you couldn't do it to Vegas, buddy." That dude pulled over in his car. He fell asleep. I had to drive he let me drive. Jeremy's tired when I had to drive. That's all I'm saying.
I just won't. I would actually probably bet on Jeremy in that because he can drive pretty much for longer than anybody I've ever known without stopping. It's retarded. I would die. Me and Jay are going to die. I'm going to fall asleep. But I think that part of this has to be no use of GPS, right? Like that's why there's a driver and a navigator.
Right.
So I think that stipulation needs to be in there that this has to be done without using any type of directions other than relying on the person next to you. I think we get an old fucking atlas.
Like
You know what I
map,
mean? Like the ones we used to have in all our cars. We get an old fucking atlas, and that is all you get. And you have to make your way from New York to LA.
I just think you have 2 stops in the middle for meetups. That's all.
Then it ain't a race.
Yeah, yes, what you do, you time it. Like, that's what the Cannonball Run did. That was the movie. They went from one, they didn't go all the way straight across the country. They stopped, and you got timed from one place to like mid, you know, and then everybody like hung out together. And so your time from from New York to Missouri, you know, and then you had your time down, then from Missouri to the next one, and then they finished up in like LA. So it wasn't a straight shot. That's all.
That
and then
like
there was like people waiting, so
that wouldn't be bad. I do think that if we did it, you would have to at least do one meetup one way or the other, you know?
At least in the middle. If you do one in the middle or wherever, or is it
Or one at the beginning and one at the end.
Or that's true too. That's true. One at the beginning, one at the end. The real Cannonball Run is a straight shot. Nah, man, that's not true.
Because I think
it is true. Maybe it is true.
To me, it just sounds wrong. To me, the point of having a navigator makes zero sense if we're just on our phones. Like,
well, I mean, it just
Google Maps.
You'd have to like change drivers. That's all.
Oh, I don't think so. I don't think those are the rules.
Yeah, you have to.
I don't think so. I think. All right, this is what I want to see. I want to see.
Gary says at the end in the chat, so we do it at the end.
So drivers, if you have one driver and one navigator, which means the driver has to fucking drive and the navigator has to navigate. So this would be, I think this should be the rule. I can't even look at the map. I can look at the road signs, I can look at that, but I can't look at the map. I have to rely on you, which means that Jeremy would have to rely on Krista. You know what I mean? Like, I think that actually makes a fucking compelling, and I think it makes it funny and interesting, as opposed to, well, who can just follow the MapQuest direct, or who can follow Google Maps and drive the longest. That's just dumb. I think that makes it entertaining. What do you think?
I'm down, man. You know me. I'm down. There's got to be rules where you switch drivers, though. You have to. Maybe no.
I think you just. I don't know.
You'd have to drive the whole time, like 3 days, while I just sit there looking at a map. I'll be like, stay on this red line for 20 miles.
I think it's going to be rough. That's what I mean. If we did it that way, I think it would be great.
Oh, man.
Go out and get a fucking atlas for everybody, the same atlas for everyone.
Yeah.
And everyone finds their way across.
Yeah. How do you keep people like, you have to do the honor system. Like, people couldn't cheat.
Well, yes, and that's why that's what I mean. So we have the cameras going and we have people mic'd up for it. And then what we do at the end is, you know, Amazing Race. Have you seen Amazing Race? Absolutely. We fucking edit it up all like that. Yeah. And like, you know, have little moments with these different people movie. That are the different things. And you and I get lost and we go to a fucking gas station and have to fucking ask somebody where to, you know what I mean? That'd be awesome.
I'm down. Get a spot. Hello, sponsors out there, man. Get us a sponsor. Let's do this. Yeah, that would make an awesome show. People would watch that. They would want to see. You could edit that into like 2 different movies, maybe even 3. Who else was in that race? Flodzilla and Quarter Black. It was Gary. It was Gary and Perry Chan. Was that who it was? That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah, everyone's like, an atlas, Ryan. It's a road. It's literally called a fucking road atlas when you look at all this shit. What are you talking about? I had that in the back of my car until basically phones started doing it for you.
But look at that. Buster. Hold on. Right here in the chat. Buster Nut Smash says, I'll donate $1,000. Look at that. We already got it going, man. I'll donate $1,000.
That's a lot.
That's a start. That's a start.
But what do you think about my what do you think about my rules?
I'm down.
I think that makes it interesting, and I think it makes it fun.
I would do it.
And I think it would be ripe for funny, entertaining shit to happen. Imagine Jeremy, who's trying to drive all night, just screaming at Krista because she can't read a map. Or you fucking up and me getting upset or whatever. You know what I mean? I think it would just be great.
I probably would mess up. I'd just be like, get on Route 10 somewhere and just stay on that all the way to the other side. Is it Route 10? I don't know. One of those routes. So,
well, if we started in New York,
yeah, that's true.
I-10 is all the way down here.
Yeah. All right. We'd have
goes to like across Texas, right?
I better do some research now just in case.
Yes. We're gonna end up with people fucking lost in the Rocky Mountains in the snow and shit. It's gonna be like the Donner Party. They're gonna start eating each other.
I can see right now, bro. This is not where we're supposed to be, Jay. What the freak? So, yeah, yes. They're like we're all waiting for people to show up. Has anybody heard from Gary? Anybody?
Oh man.
It would be pretty cool.
I think so. And like I said, if we can find some people who are willing to sponsor something like this when it comes to like the equipment, the mic, like all this shit, we can make it a real cool thing. You know?
Yeah, Steph in the chat says you have to switch drivers so the other person has to try to read a map.
If we want to establish those rules, we could do that. But either way, that's we'll see. What
sounds awesome. It sounds awesome, man. It sounds awesome.
It's not. We'll put it this way. It's not just a shit post, Twitter post.
Yeah,
maybe we'll see what happens. But the biggest part is that is a long time. That is a long time commitment for a lot of different people that we wouldn't be making the content we normally are.
Right.
So we have to find a way to make it right. In some
way. Absolutely. And you're right. Sponsors would be that would be awesome. It's like we're in the 221B tactical car. Jeremy's in the I don't know, the Nintendo car, whatever. It's like that'd be kind of cool.
And if the navigator falls asleep, the driver has to wake them up to fucking get directions.
Yeah.
All right, because they can't read a map themselves. All right, let's fucking get into some of this shit.
That's a great topic though. It's got people buzzing, man. It's got people buzzing.
Whoops. It's got people buzzing. Yeah, exactly. Gary will miss one video. I'll miss fucking 50 if I take a week off. So
2 live streams and a video probably. But yeah, it's important. Trust me, I know. I took like 3 weeks off from uploading a video. Dear God, when you go back to uploading, YouTube's like, oh, yeah? You want to try this thing again? Like, we're going to bury your stuff.
Yeah. All right, let's get into this Wonder Woman stuff because one of the reasons that James Gunn came in to take control of the DC universe was because, quite frankly, it's been a mess. The past several years, all the different directions they've gone, the decisions they've made that some people haven't agreed with, the split between Warner Brothers' vision and the vision of all the different creatives involved. That was all supposed to come to an end with the hiring of James Gunn, the reboot of the DC universe. But then we heard something interesting just a few weeks ago when Gal Gadot came out and said, oh, by the way, James Gunn and Peter Safran told me we're going to still do Wonder Woman 3. So I'm looking forward to doing that with them. And people said, wait, so you're telling me that of all of this stuff that's happening, basically no one's getting recast? That Henry Cavill might be the only one that ends up getting fired from this entire thing? What are we talking about? And even as recently as yesterday in an interview that came out, Gal Gadot reiterated those things. Gal Gadot says Wonder Woman 3 is in the best hands. James Gunn told Gal Gadot not to worry about Wonder Woman's DC future. I've got some quotes. Speaking with Flaunt, Gadot revealed that Gunn and Safran told her, you're in the best hands. We're going to develop Wonder Woman 3 with you. We love you as Wonder Woman. You've got nothing to worry about, she added, so time will tell. It was only hours after this, and a lot of people talking about these quotes, that we suddenly had a completely different report that is reminding everybody that the people may have changed, the people in charge may have changed, but DC is still DC. Warner Brothers is still Warner Brothers. Wonder Woman 3 won't fly in the new DC universe, despite Gal Gadot teasing development plans. Exclusive. Despite recent comments from Gal Gadot claiming DC heads James Gunn and Peter Safran told her they would develop Wonder Woman 3 together, sources with knowledge of the situation tell Variety that is not the case. According to the Warner Brothers sources, a third Wonder Woman film is not in development at DC Studios, nor do Gunn and Safran have plans at this time for any other Wonder Woman project in the new DC universe other than their previously announced Paradise Lost prequel series for Max. How fucking chaotic are things at DC? And I saw this post. It's like, this is what it's like being a DC fan, okay? This is over the course of a few months. After Patty Jenkins was fired and Wonder Woman 3 was canceled, Patty Jenkins was offered the chance to rewrite the script for Wonder Woman 3, but she declined. Then she came out and said, "That's not true. I never walked away. It was my understanding there was nothing I could do to move anything forward at this time." Gal Gadot then says James Gunn and Peter Safran told her in a meeting, "You're in the best hands. We're going to develop Wonder Woman 3. Reportedly, nothing was ever promised to Gal Gadot about Wonder Woman 3 happening or any definitive discussion. Or, of course, Henry Cavill announcing that he's back as Superman only to be fired a month later. It seems like the old DC is exactly the same as the new DC.
I mean, can't they just send out an email to all these people? This is what we're doing. It's crazy that they got to go through the media with all this. We saw this with Disney too, with the guy that directed the Haunted Mansion, and he brings up Lando, right? And they had to come out and confirm, yeah, you're not writing Lando. It's all done through the media. And it's like, what a freaking mess. I'm just like, can y'all just send a group text to everyone and let them know like what's going on so we don't have all these conflicting stories? But what a joke. These giant corporations can't even casually send an email, but here we are.
Yeah, no one's on the same page. So what does this mean? Does this mean that Gal Gadot's just lying? Is that what you mean with these sources coming out and saying that? Are you saying that Gal Gadot is lying about her discussions with James Gunn? When it's all said and done, based on all the things that have happened over the last, 10 months since this has occurred, it seems like James Gunn is the one who ends up coming out looking like he's misleading people.
Yeah, he looks terrible.
That's the way it looks to me. And now I guess just because Wonder Woman 3 isn't happening doesn't mean that she's done as Wonder Woman. I guess she could just make random appearances and stuff. I guess that's a possibility. But still, nevertheless, no, it doesn't seem like there is a clear front, like there's a clear picture, a clear path going forward when it comes to the DC universe. And it continues to be a disaster.
Exactly. It's just a bunch of confusion. And they don't even know who they're talking to. It almost seems like they just said, "Hey, James Gunn, you're in charge. Go tell all these people that they're fired or they're hired." And he just walked around and was like, "Henry, we're moving forward without you. Gail, maybe. We'll let you know. And just go to the next one." But dear God, just get them all in a group text and let them know.
And to be clear, if you're going to make the decision to reboot the DCU, personally, I think it needs to be everybody. I don't think there can be any holdovers. I don't think you should have anybody that played a role before. You just need to start fresh. That's my personal opinion.
No, I 100% agree.
I didn't want to get rid of Henry Cavill. I understand, though. And if you're going to do that, I think you have to do it clean with everybody. Not, well, everybody except my wife and the show she's on, or everyone but the show that I did in the movie. Fuck that. Agreed. I think it needs to be everything. And I don't think they're going to do everything. And I do think that's a problem. But if you're going to get rid of Henry Cavill, you should also get rid of Gal Gadot.
I mean, especially when Gunn comes out and is like, you need to watch The Flash and you need to watch this and Blue Beetle's going to kick things off for us. It's like, you're just making it worse.
Well, and to be clear, it's not even like the Blue Beetle movie. It's Blue Beetle is the first DCU character, they're saying. But that movie is not necessarily a DCU movie. But they want Jaime Reyes, they want Zola Maridueño potentially continue as Blue Beetle in the DCU. So it's just confusing as fuck. And we'll see what happens going forward with that, I suppose. Where's my... Good. Didn't know if I filled up my water or not.
I I still think Aquaman 2 is going to be the biggest disaster yet. I think we're just lining them up. I mean, Blue Beetle looks pretty bad, but I just think like we're lining up for worse and worse and worse. So
we'll see what happens with Blue Beetle. That's the only movie that I'm really hoping will fail. Like, I don't usually just like see movies and like I hope it fails. I do hope it fails because fuck Angel Manuel Soto, you stupid piece of shit, fucking bitch.
It doesn't look like it's going to do pretty well.
We'll see. We'll see. Tomac for 20. If you guys do this Cannonball Run, what team is getting sponsored by Pornhub?
He sponsored the whole freaking thing.
Yeah, I mean, if they wanted to, let's go for it. Mike Hill for
hilarious.
Mike Hill for 10. Jay, what were you doing with your hand in that bush?
The Christmas tree was putting lights on. I see I messed up the words, but that's okay.
What do you mean the words?
I call the tree a bush, but my Christmas tree is little, man. It looks like a little shrub. You know,
when did this happen? Like,
what's that?
Are you talking about like 40 years ago this happened, or the other day?
Sadly, no. It was a couple of years. I think it was a pandemic tree.
A pandemic tree.
When we were all like locked in and didn't know what we were doing. So,
man, Christmas is probably my favorite time of the year. I think Christmas is my favorite holiday. And I will be honest, it feels different. It's felt different to me for a fucking decade now because I associate Christmas with winter. Because
cold,
I grew up where we
snow,
actually
right.
had fucking seasons. And so Christmas I've spent the last couple of years in Florida. Before that, I was in California for 4 years, in San Diego. So it's like, it feels very different when you don't have the weather to go along with it, in my opinion. But I still like Christmas. Halloween's your favorite holiday? You fat fuck liking candy, probably. I get a lot of candy during Christmas, too.
Yeah, man. There's nothing better than those chocolate marshmallow Santa Claus.
I don't even like the marshmallow ones, dude. Just give me straight up Hershey's chocolate Santa. The 6-packs.
Yeah.
Usually Santa gives me an entire 6-pack of those in my stocking. So shout out to Santa Claus.
There it is.
Mm-hmm. Valkyrae Winter for Aussie 10. Jay, you sexy man beast. Ryan, good to see you again, mate. Hale 199 and Skull. Thank you, Valkyrae Winter.
Thank you.
EF for 10. Boomer Gary going to beat everyone because he was there when the Atlas was made. Yes. Very true. Hayden for 10. Gun taking over DCU should have stayed secret until current run was over. It puts failures on Gun before he begins. I don't disagree with you. I think that the announcement of rebooting these things and getting people excited with all these announcements while still having a lot of this shit to pump out is rough. It's tough because you want say that they didn't announce anything. And we were here now with Blue Beetle. Aquaman 2 comes out in December, and there was not a single announcement for any other project in development for DC. Like, how would people take that? You know
why they had to announce is because that whole stuff with Henry, right? Henry makes a statement. It wasn't Henry. Didn't he take to social media and it was just like, yeah, I'm moving forward. There's nothing there. I'm not moving forward with DC. And then they had to like come out and explain themselves. He said he's like moving to Warhammer. I thought that's what like kind of triggered this whole thing. I could be wrong.
So the statement from Henry, I don't know what came first. I think it was probably the reports that he was leaving, that he was out.
No.
And then
he came out and said he's leaving, right? He's leaving a show because he's going to be Superman again. Wasn't that what he like the early on?
So those are two different. So he announced the Witcher thing, but he didn't say like, I'm doing this to be Superman or anything like that.
Okay.
Now that's what a lot of us, maybe felt. I'd have to go back and look at the order of those statements.
Because I thought that's what he did. They're like, yeah, he's quitting a job to be.
So
Henry
Cavill,
like a month later, he's like, well, sorry about that, everyone.
I'm not wrong. Superman. I don't think the implication was that he was doing that so he could play Superman. There's always room in his schedule for both. I think the Witcher announcement came sometime in October, and the Superman announcement came a little bit after that. Okay. Henry Cavill out as Superman. Let me see if I can find that. Yeah, that was in December. So, yeah, there was about 2-month gap between there. Now, a lot of people thought, hey, he's going to have plenty of time to do this. But I think it was after all of that he then announced the Warhammer 40K series with Amazon. That was sometime earlier this year, I think.
Yeah, it's been a mess from that whole situation. It's just been a freaking mess. I think that too, like that just started the toilet flush of DC when they're like, well, you're not moving forward with Henry Cavill. You're not moving forward with this stuff. Why bother watching this? And then freaking Shazam gets launched in theaters and people are like, yeah, I got no interest in this. So it just keeps getting worse.
And I don't think a lot of people, I don't think there was bad feedback about Shazam. It's just nobody cared.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, what's the point in investing in this storyline when it's not going anywhere? And then you have like the Flash getting ready to come out, and it's like,
bro, the Flash was.
But you have Gunn come out, and people are like, oh, it's a great movie. You guys got to watch it. Please watch it. It's like, I think we goofed. We just bombed our next few projects because of all these announcements.
I mean, that thing made $268 million at the box office.
Yeah.
A movie that had Michael Keaton returning as Batman, that was promoted by basically every single celebrity you could imagine.
Yeah.
$268 million. Holy fuck. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, that's rough. I have no idea what Aquaman 2 is going to do, or Blue Beetle for that matter. Floki the Mad member for 6 months. I was told by people in Discord to tell Ryan, Daddy, chill. I did what Discord told me to say. Sorry, not sorry. Thank you. Karnak Kettrell, member for 2 months. Cannonball Run was based off the Gumball rally. Well, thanks.
I did not know that.
Cage Phoenix for 199. Jay hates sloppy rain.
Yeah. Who likes sloppy rain? Florida gets muddy and like all the ground gets super soft. It's awful.
Ace Shinigami. Is that how you say it? For Vive. Hey, content question. How do you stay on track and get your point across in videos within a reasonable amount of time? Need some tips. Y'all are amazing.
I do mine in like 2 minutes. Other people know how to stretch it out to that lovely 8-minute mark, but
I don't really know. You just have to practice. You have to know what you're talking about, and you have to practice. And by practice, I just mean make content. That's all I mean by practice. Because the more you do it, the more comfortable you'll get. So you're not going to be perfect right away. No one's perfect ever. It's just a constant evolution. So that's what I would say when it comes to that. Taker for $5. On Barbie, it's like, congrats. You spent a ton of money on a movie about a made-up place that benefits a large corporation run by a white dude. Okay. Thank you, Taker. Jay's Greasy Wiggler, 199. Give me back Mike Hunt. Who's Mike Hunt? Jack Hudson for 2. Y'all really got into heavy metal.
Now, doesn't he say you should get into heavy metal?
It probably says y'all really got to get.
Oh, got to get into heavy metal.
But it says y'all really got to into heavy metal. I will.
I like Guns N' Roses.
It's a little late for me, I think. I got too much other shit on my plate. My cum smells for 2. This Lil Tay nonsense is out of hand. I'll be honest.
Oh, man. What a nightmare that is. Holy crap.
I don't give a fuck about that person. I didn't know who they were when it got announced that they died. And quite frankly, I didn't care. No more than I would care about like a person, like a sad thing that happens on the other side of the city, that I see in the news. Now that apparently is just really all a publicity stunt, I really won't give a fuck if that person ever dies. I just don't care, man. Like, I don't know whether it's the parents doing all this stuff. I don't care. There's a lot of YouTubers, a lot of social media influencers that I have no idea who they are, and they're massive. It doesn't mean I care about them. Whatever. What do you think?
I was kind of like, I never wanted to see a young person commit suicide because that's what the reports were. I was like, man, that's rough. But then to come out that it was like, it's just going to be a joke. That's terrible, man. It was like you shouldn't do that stuff. That's awful. I mean, we still don't really officially know, do we? Like, it's just wild. It's like
she's not fucking dead. It was a
Right.
fucking publicity stunt. That's what it was. I mean, come on. Like, to me, that's pretty easy to see. But who knows?
It's weird. It was like she's dead, then her brother's dead, then it's like it was suicide, and then all these people were like, "Man, don't kill yourself. Here's the hotline." Then it's like, well, Dad didn't really confirm that she's dead. Maybe she's, maybe she's not. So I don't know.
Slayer.
I didn't really know who she was. Like you said. Sorry, but that's yeah.
Slayer does second for Canadian $2. Please don't let Barbie be Super Mario Bros. Movie. That ship sailed, man. That's done. That's gonna happen. Chris Coran for 2. You guys would spill stuff and break down. Probably.
I don't know if we'd break down. Spill.
I think we should get. I think we should get like rented, like a fleet of like identical rented cars for the thing.
Yeah, that's
what I think.
Yeah, it has to. You got to make it an even playing field.
Mm-hmm. And also, I don't know. We'll get into more of these rules. We got to get into the minutia. Cole Hauser for 5. Happy Friday, Ryan and Jay. Thanks for the daily. My favorite is when Hogan turned heel for NWO. Ahsoka looks so bad, I want to throw up. 199, yo, Joe. I think Ahsoka's going to be shit. I think everyone's going to praise it. So
that was a good Hogan moment.
Are you looking forward to Ahsoka at all?
Yeah, because we're going to have a panel every Monday with some really cool people to laugh at it. So I'm looking forward to making more money on it than the actual show. We'll see. Kind of like what I did with the Star Cruiser. I think I made more money on the Star Cruiser than they did.
Jacob, member for 2 months. Are Krista and Jeremy a thing? No, they're not. Everybody else, Jerry's married. Because I will stop simping for Krista in the chat if they are a thing. Simp on for Krista, just like all these other freaking freaks in the chat.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Respect that you wanted to be respectful.
Yeah, that is not a thing at all. Cage Phoenix, member for a month. Do it for like the Gumball Rally style. Do it for like the Gumball Rally style. What does that mean?
Gumball Rally was like the Cannonball Run. I think they kind of the same thing.
Dracon CM for 10. I've noticed some rumors about a possible Injustice 3 game. With that, could you imagine the Green Power Ranger in that franchise? Hail 199, hail G and G. Jay, may the power protect you. Not you, Ryan. JK 199.
I'm protected.
The Green Power Ranger in Injustice? No. I mean, could you? I don't know why. I guess there have been some haven't there been some fucking Power Rangers DC crossovers? But like I don't know. In terms of me, I think that in Injustice 3 it should just be our DC characters. But I don't know. What about you?
I have no comment on the issue.
Okay. Alec Baldwin's finger for 10. Have to do it Top Gear style. Have a Toyota Corolla to swap if your car breaks down. There you go. Let's see.
Toyota.
The King Darth Davy for 5. No interstates. Make it U.S. highways.
So take the scenic route. Well, then that would defeat the purpose of a navigator if it was like a planned route.
Well, no, I think the implication would be you're not allowed to use big interstate highways.
Oh, so we have to figure out on the map to go through small town America,
insane.
baby.
That would be insane.
That would take maybe an extra day or two.
If this happens, though, I'm gonna make us stop near like where I grew up to get pizza on the way, Jay. If it happens, we're gonna take the north route. We're gonna go from New York. We're gonna hop on the toll road, and we're gonna go across Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, through Chicago. You know, maybe we'll take that way, and then, God, though, that would probably, I don't know if there's an efficient way if we got all the way to there.
I'd probably get us stuck in some, Detroit, Chicago city where we'd get shot. And that'll be the end of our race.
I don't think you'll get shot.
I could see Ryan like, man, where the freak are we? I was like, let me ask for direction.
I don't think you'll get shot. Yeah, so we could do that. We could go. All right, so we could go New York, go across Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana. I don't know if we want to hit Chicago or not, but I get there's gotta be. See, the problem is I'm probably fucking myself if I don't hop on 69 to go through Indianapolis and instead take 65, because that'll probably end up being more time. We'll figure it out. We'll find some way to do it.
That would be awesome, man.
But really, we shouldn't pre-plan out anything. That should also be a rule. That's impossible to. That's impossible to do.
Takes the fun out.
But it would take the fun out of it.
Ryan, I hope cussing me out like every hour. Where the freak are we supposed to go? I'm like, I don't know. Follow the sun. The sun rises in the west.
Well, it wouldn't be hard to just drive west.
Oh, man.
We could do 57 all the way down through Memphis.
Oh, yeah. Let's stop in Memphis.
I didn't say stop. I said through. I don't want to stop in Memphis,
Holy
motherfucker.
Crap. Memphis, the worst. That's one of the worst cities in America. People didn't know.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Taker for $2. You have to do it in a 100-mile range mini EV. No, I don't think so. Like, again, if we want Elon.
Yeah.
Elon.
Put some X's on the cars, man.
Let's get some Teslas and let's make this an X-sponsored thing. Content creators trip, race across the United States. It'd be fun. Japanese Demon Lord of Beer Lucifer for $5. Announcement. Florida is not a southern state. It's a state in the South.
100% agree. Southern states stop around Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi. Guess.
I think part of Florida is
like North South. Florida would probably be considered.
Like from what I've witnessed, I haven't spent a lot of time here, but to me, North Florida and like the Panhandle, that is the South. And then, once you get to like Central Florida and below, that's a different thing.
Yeah. South Florida is a completely different state. There's pockets in Central Florida, like Polk County and stuff that are, they're eating roadkill. They're around here.
Liam John Smith for $1.99. Ryan, aren't you from Chicago or am I wrong here? No, I'm from the Chicago area, but I'm from Indiana, from Northwest Indiana. I was born in Valparaiso, Indiana, which is about 45 minutes to an hour outside of Chicago, but real close.
Washington, D.C. here.
Ugh. Jay's Greasy Wiggler for $1.99. Loved it when Hulk Hogan pinned MCU fan. Hail FNT. Nut Bunny for $14. Great metal song. Persepolis from Septic Flesh. Thank you. Taker for $2. Mechanically breakdown or emotionally breakdown or both? Probably both.
Oh, and probably a few more other breakdowns in the middle.
Greasy Guido for $5.55. Maybe checkpoint tasks along the way, like take picture with giant yarn ball in Minnesota or sleep with 3 Mormons in Utah, and tasks revealed on the spot, so no pre-plans. Now you're talking. Now you're turn this into an amazing race. Or there's certain places you have to get to.
Oh my gosh, someone dropped a 50 Drake on to shame me about my I do like the Power Rangers, man. I love the Green Ranger. It's my favorite one. I liked Green Ranger before. Green Ranger superior to White Ranger. That's all I'm saying. It is. I just don't know much about the crossover. There's a YouTube channel out there that put like epic like they would cosplay people and they would have two characters fight. And they got the real life Green Ranger, I think, to film in one where he fought. I can't remember who he fought, man. What the heck? I think he fought Wolverine, and it was pretty cool. So they got Jason David
Frank, right?
Yeah,
he left Hollywood.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yep.
Epic. It's not epic rap battles. It's like it's another. This guy was just like he would. They were low budget films, but you know,
when it comes to Injustice, I would love to see Green Power Rangers, maybe in a Mortal Kombat game or something. But to me, Injustice games should remain DC characters.
I think that's just I just didn't know how it would work. But my apologies. We're Power Rangers. Mortal Kombat might make more sense. Heck, man, put them in Fortnite. What the heck? Where are the Power Rangers in Fortnite?
Don't they have a bunch of crazy like different characters in Mortal Kombat? Like, didn't they have like the Terminator in Mortal Kombat?
So.
Shit
Yeah,
like that? I'm not a big Mortal Kombat guy.
Right, they did have the Terminator and a couple other IPs.
Chris Coran for 2. A lot of small town cops will be making bank, because we get caught speeding. SBZ for 5. Entering Detroit from the Cannonball Run turned into Bad Boys 2 Run. Ooh. Lean back, have a snack, take a nap. God, sounds good right now.
Yeah.
If you guys work the race details out, develop it as a documentary package and crowdfund the expenses. A minimum dollar amount has to be met to make it worthwhile. Yes. Again, that's what we're talking about. Like, if we want to do it and actually get something out of it rather than a random like road trip live stream, I think it can be done. When it comes to crowdfunding, we'll see. Mike Hill for 10. Who you got your money between Godzilla and King Kong versus Justice League in a new comic series?
I'm always
Justice League, I guess.
Always going with King Kong, man.
Well, Godzilla and King Kong versus Justice
League.
League.
They're together?
I guess, in a new crossover. Alec Baldwin's finger for 12. What car would rock the 199 number? Jeremy and Chris is fine. Me and Jay will be we'll find a number for us.
Yeah.
Cliff for $4.99. Rule idea: if you get on interstate, even connect to state highway, you get hilariously penalized for every mile you're on the interstate. I would love some rules like this. I think it makes it interesting. I think it makes it interesting. And maybe, maybe we actually do have some rules set in place to make sure no one dies.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you can only drive.
Holy crap. How horrible would that be?
Maybe you can only drive 14 hours in a day or something. I don't know. Shit like that.
We'd be the rebellion car. That won't bring any attention.
We could try it. Let's just have one that looks
Gina,
like
sponsor our car. Come on, man.
There you go. Oh, that works. Or we could have one that just looks like a Michael Jordan jersey, and MJ will sponsor us.
There it is.
Hey, we'll drive better than Bubba Wallace, MJ. All right, we'll be your new drivers. Right. We'll go straight through Chicago, straight through MAGA country with no problems. We had to talk about this random Star Wars news though, because this is pretty funny. Obviously, tensions are continuing to be bad between the studios and between the actors and the writers, with the writer's strike now going on over 100 days, and it doesn't look like it's coming to a close anytime soon. But somebody who is out there on the picket lines, albeit they're worth $35-40 million in Damon Lindelof, he wants you to know that he likes picketing and protesting against Disney, that is more enjoyable than having to write a Star Wars movie. I thought this was pretty funny to hear. over the last couple of months, there's been a lot of shakeups at Lucasfilm. When it came to the Rey movie that was being written by Damon Lindelof, he got fired along with his partner, Justin Britt Gibson. They're done. They get fired from the project. They bring a new writer in, and they're still going to do the Rey movie. And Damon Lindelof, for the most part, was pretty civil. He's like, hey, they said they didn't want me. I was asked to leave, but if they ever wanted me back to do something, I'd be happy to try again. Maybe those things are changing a little bit, because now Damon Lindelof says picketing Disney is more fun than writing a Star Wars movie.
What a disaster.
I believe that Gary found this clip because he watched my video where I talked about this. And just listen to them right here striking. They're with you. They're so oppressed, guys. Damon Lindelof, who is worth $40 million, is out there pretending like, he really gives a fuck about all this shit. Here we go. You can't hear that, can you?
I cannot.
Fuck. Hold on.
Gary said true. There was a time Gary used to watch my videos. It was fun. It was a good time.
That was back when you used to make videos, probably.
Yeah, that's true.
Here we go.
Justin and I wrote a Star Wars movie together.
Yeah, we did.
Picketing Disney is more fun.
Oh, it's a delight.
Let's say that.
Strike the Empire back, baby.
Strike the Empire back, baby.
It's funny how Disney has become basically public enemy number one when it comes to all the writer strikes and all that stuff. Bob Iger, fuck Bob Iger, that evil Bob Iger. That's the studio that all the writers and actors are attacking right now.
Yeah.
But you know what? I do believe that sitting out here for an hour a day, pretending like you're oppressed while showing solidarity with all these people who are eating cat food to survive, I do believe this is probably better than writing a Disney Star Wars movie for Lucasfilm. I kind of think he's not wrong.
No, I agree. I mean, just look at their track record with directors and writers. So it must just be a total nightmare to work for Lucasfilm. Just like whatever, somebody must come in there and be like, you can't write like this, we can't have that, and just totally derail everything, and for them to come out and make that statement, I think it's hilarious. Just another check on Lucasfilm. Keep them coming, folks. Keep them coming.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's just funny. It's funny that a guy that got fired from Lucasfilm is coming out and saying sitting out in the sun and protesting Disney is more enjoyable than writing for Lucasfilm. And obviously, I don't like Damon Lindelof. I'm glad he's not going forward with a Star Wars movie because I think he's kind of a shit writer. He comes from the J.J. Abrams camp. That's the only reason he probably got the opportunity in the first place. But it does sound like he, along with so many other people, kind of just got fucked over by Lucasfilm in the past. So It's funny that he's coming out swinging after being fired from the Rey movie.
I do think like Bob Iger has been on the hit list. The She-Hulk actress, she also came out and basically told Bob, you need to share your money. There were people that were working on the show that got underpaid. I was like, if you knew all those problems were going on and you were unhappy with it, why didn't you speak up sooner? Why did you have to wait till you were walking with AOC in New York to make a statement like that? But here we are. How long do you think this is going to last? How long do you think because the other report that just came in like 2 days ago was like, Disney's looking into AI to cut production costs from television and movies. And you're just like, that's one of the things that they're protesting, is it not? Like they're scared that AI is going to like drip into their industry and take away all their jobs, apparently. So
they want regulation for it. Yeah.
So the guy has to sell his $5 million home, and not.
Yeah. Billy Porter. I got a video coming out on Billy Porter's dumb bitch ass in a little bit here. A guy who's made millions of dollars in his career, probably has a multi-million-dollar house, is being forced to sell his house because he's been out of work for like 30 fucking days.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to garner very much public sympathy. This is the biggest difference between this strike and the strike we saw in 2007, 2008. I remember that strike because I was one of the people clamoring for the shows that I watched each and every week on TV to come back. I wanted them to come back. I missed my entertainment. And in that time, there was a lot of public pressure on the studios to end things to get the writers back to work. That's not here anymore. There is no public pressure to do that. Late night shows have not been on air for over 3 months, and literally no one misses them.
Nope.
People are not clamoring for these writers to get their jobs back. They don't want them to have their jobs back because over the past couple years, Hollywood, the entertainment industry, has pushed normal people away. They've pushed people away from wanting to have anything to do with the content they're putting out. So they're not missing it. They're not wishing that it'll come back on air. So when people like Billy Porter tell these stories about, it's so evil, I had to sell my home, they're already starving people like me out. A guy who's made millions of dollars, a guy who likely had to sell a multi-million-dollar home, who can't budget himself well enough to go 1 month without working before he has to sell his house. Meanwhile, these very same people are the ones who were advocating and pushing propaganda to everybody to convince you that we need to lock the entire country down, that mom and pop stores, they need to go out of business. Fuck them. They don't deserve that. This is for everyone's protection. While Hollywood continued to make content, while Hollywood continued to work and get paid, they did not care if the normal everyday person was suffering, was out of a job, lost their home, lost everything. Now they want you to feel bad because they've been out of work for a month and have to sell their multi-million-dollar house. Fuck you. No one sympathizes right now
100.
with these actors or these writers. Not to say people are on the studio's side, but there's just a lot of apathy towards all of this in general.
100%. 100%. Yeah, and you're right. There's been no hashtags. There's been no bring back late night TV, everyone. Come on, we can do it. Nobody cares, man. I hope they stand out there for quite some time, crying from their multi-million-dollar homes. You know, that I think, yeah, you're right. Like that, the lockdowns when these celebrities were like, "You're gonna save the world," like we're all doing it. You know, I've got a full court basketball, you know, Olympic-sized swimming pool, jacuzzi, farm animals. I gotta stay home. You know, you got to do it too, okay? We're all in this together.
Yeah.
Give me a freaking break, man. Give me a freaking break. Like, holy crap, these people. And you got AOC out there with them too. What is she doing out there? Holy crap.
Japanese Demon Lord of Beer Lucifer for 10. Make the race like Amazing Race with eliminations. Every team eliminated has to pleasure Gorlock the Destroyer sexually. Ugh.
Ooh. I might skip on that one.
Hayden for 10. The people who yelled at us for years about our disgust with Disney are now yelling about their disgust with Disney. The tears are so tasty. They deserve it. Yeah. Elklid Barrett, member for a year. Rule number 1, no seatbelts. It's fine for me.
Y'all just want us to die.
Jillian N becomes a channel member. Thank you, Julian or Jillian. Stephen Wasik for 5. 07-08 strike ended without a trace and hurt Quantum of Solace. I remember the first season of The Office back from the strike, and the first couple episodes were like very long episodes. It's like they felt like they need to make up for all like the time they lost. And I think we're all caught up. Shout out to our peeps over on Rumble. Over 300 people watching us on Rumble. We appreciate that, guys. Jay, what do you got going on this week or the rest of the week?
Me and Crystal will actually be at SeaWorld Sunday for park hopping. And so, yeah, then I got my normal live stream on Saturday. And I'm going to do another Star Cruiser video today because new numbers have come out of how much total loss and failure that has cost the company, and it's unbelievable. So I love it.
This is true for Hayden. FNT's an hour late today. I do think that's the case. Let's hope it's only an hour. Gary's doing the panel at Anime Matsuri, so we'll see what happens if we get it started on time an hour late or not. But I will be there. So a little bit different time for FNT.
Oh yeah, Anime Matsuri's going on right now. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Chris B for 2. You 2 on FNT today? I am. I don't think Jay is.
Not me. Not really on that show, but thank you.
And my man Sundowners Club in chat for $25. What's up, brother? What's up, Ryan and Jay? Where was Hollywood when working class people were losing jobs during COVID? Now the masses are supposed to care about writers and actors. That bridge is burned.
100%.
I agree with you. And that's one of the reasons I think you are seeing no real public support for this strike.
Yeah.
And I think that's
100%.
going to continue. Especially when the people who are striking are the same people that are in part responsible for everything being as shitty as it is. I don't care about some random like trans gay person in a wheelchair who wanted to write stories to make themselves feel represented that lost a fuck ton of money. I don't feel bad for you because you didn't make that movie for anybody other than yourself. You didn't make that show for anybody other than yourself. And now you might be out of a job. So learn to eat fucking cat food, I guess, or learn to code, one or the other.
Or talk to AOC and maybe she'll find you a job in New York.
I'm sure that those people would be just as qualified for their jobs as she was for hers. Panther Blue for 5. Are the actors really standing with writers? Because on their social media, they will strike and then the next day off on vacation somewhere. I mean, here's the thing. There are obviously different levels. There are some actors that are part of the strike that like the very low level people who are scraping by, who it's a struggle like each and every day to find a job, and they're worried that a studio is going to take an image of them and then just use AI and have put them in things without paying them. There's like understandable reasons for some of these people to want to contractually negotiate these things. But the writers that you see on social media, Leonardo DiCaprio, yeah, he's going to come out and be like, hey, I support you guys. And then he's going to go off and do his thing. He's got a fuck ton of money.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
They're going to come out and take photos.
Yeah, exactly.
Publicity photos. I was there.
I was there. Like Rachel Zegler. And I deserve to get paid for every hour that is streamed online.
Yeah. Exactly.
Anyway. All right. That's going to be it for us. Thank you guys. See, Jeremy just said Cobra Cast will be on late tonight. So there you go. Make sure you catch Cobra Cast later. And we will see you guys on Monday. Peace.
Happy birthday, Hulk Hogan.